Good morning, everybody. I hope it's sunny and tolerable, I'll say. I never know when there's sun places of how it is, but certainly thrilled to see everybody here. Let's see who's here today so far. Good morning to Chase and Cavell and Carol and Barbara Ward. Yes, your brother Jesus will be coming today. It's exciting. And whoever it was who asked about the cards, which this is the card for Master Jesus that's in the deck. Okay. And this is what they're called. Let's see. Keepers of the Light, Oracle cards. I know that bottom isn't showing well. There you go. From the light. Beautiful. Kyle Gray. You know, any type of card you're working with takes on the energy that you have in your space where you're working. So you might want to have things. And good morning, Julie, that you work with out and about when we're working together, because the higher light energy will start to be a part of that. And show you one more. Here's Master Babaji. They're very beautiful. Okay. So let's all do our mantra together. Make sure you're very rooted down into the center of the earth. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. Breathe deep and allow those places to awaken within you. So I'm going to speak a little bit about focus today before I bring Jesus in. You can see if there is no focus, if you're busy and here and there, it isn't the same that it's doing for you if you're able to allow yourself complete focus on what you're doing, whether it's your prayers or individual work or looking within the self. So you want to work towards being the master of your consciousness, of the intellect of the mind, as you move that all down into your heart. And the more focused you become, the more of a different reality you're going to be able to see. Because if you're in the busy world and can't find a way to get out of that, then it isn't going to be the same. So I see Kathy Marino. Good morning. Okay, anyone else I haven't said hello to? No. All right, so as when I'm done today, if you have questions, you can certainly ask, or if you have any question you want to ask before I start, that's fine. Our time seems to go so quickly. But yes. All right, so I'm going to bring Jesus in. Good morning to all lovely souls, to my brothers, to my sisters, to those whose heart desires to be touched with more of God's love, more of my Father, more of myself, perhaps more of my mother. I can remember when I was a small child. Her smile was always upon me. I can remember my focus at that time was to learn about that which created me, to learn about that which moved through me, for I could see things I did not know what they were. So I studied for a long, long time in the temples and in the mosque. I read many, many pages. I learned what was thought or known of my Father. Throughout this time, I could speak with him. He would begin calling me his son. So I knew from early who I was. Not that I did not love my father, Joseph, but I understood. I understood. So I walked many, many paces with curiosity, wanting to know more. So I encourage those of you, well, what do I do? Become curious. Desire to know more. Read. Spend time in your heart in prayer with my Father. It will support your ability to hear and to see. My physical father was a great man with wood. And he also told and taught me how to express my feelings of my heart in the gentleness, sweetness of the grain of the wood. I say this to you, for there are many things you each have within and without you, that the love you hold, you can express with that sweetness and have it become around you. You're in a world that's capable of holding and having more. And here we discuss more light of my Father. His love is a gentle love, an inspiring love, an everlasting love. And it is forgiveness without question, which he brings. It is an acceptance and to place his arms around you. That is his natural experience. When we all come together, he and my mother and I, there is such joy. Perhaps unimaginable for you, but I desire for this to be changeable and that you may join us. For these concerns in this world are not necessary. Are not necessary. I do understand the word trust, not so much between I and my Father, but between I and people, human. And how I discovered trust with love. For there not can be a friend that you have that it doesn't extend in both ways. Look at my friends, my disciples, who walked with me for days, for years, and listened to me, heard that which the beliefs in my heart had become. And yet I still remember the night before it began. Father had told me they would leave me, and they did. But I can say to you today, I love them all. I understand. So I want and wish for you to contemplate this action. For there are many for each of you in your world who you have loved and in anger or hurt walked away from. The truth of God is to love all and to bring forgiveness and understanding. So when you're ready, call my Father into your heart for his support and understanding. This is between you and God. And forgive. And if it is you, first you must forgive, then do so. For there is nothing in the world where you live which is about growing and experiencing and learning and moving forward that has any need for forgiveness. In the balance of karma, it is so. You need not look for another way to see it. It just is so. So there are old friends, ones you loved, ones who loved you. And I say to you from my heart, you still do, and so do they. And when you're ready one day, you will become full enough of the love of my Father and be willing to speak that truth. It is never to let experience of life detour your journey. And you must say to me, Jesus, how can that be when the path is a journey of life? Ah, my friends, it is a journey of your spirit emerging and evolving. And you must define that which life is for yourself. It is true that the human lives a life. It is true that the soul lives a life. But most importantly, the journey is about allowing your spirit to become alive. You see? Food for thought if you do not understand my words. Food for thought. Each of my disciples were unique, just as you. Most had a past, such as you, but there was a willingness to surrender to something bigger than they, which was my Father's love. They desired to learn it through me, for I chose to live that, to help the human race. They can be quite stubborn, you know. And this is what I faced, the stubbornness, the resentment, the anger. Some of you still hold these things within you. Yes, you know what I mean. And the time is coming for you to embrace them, to love them for that realizations they bring to you. To hold a grudge has no need or worth of it. For he is your brother, or she is your sister. And it is time to understand respect. Respect. My mother teaches the respect of woman. Yes. That gentle, courageous strength. Even at times unspoken. But the love so pure. Purity you desire. You must look at where you must go for that. You must go through the self and touch and embrace and illuminate that which is not. Dear bullshit. I have received respect and love, and I have received hatred. I look at it now as a piece of growth and allow it to move on. As I impress you to move on. It is you must respect that which has become, that which has made you. Yes. You must own the worth of that gift, the value of that light. Touch it for yourself. The light of the Holy Spirit within your heart. I agree, it is overwhelming. But here in our discussion, we have peeled back many levels. For my words are alive, as they have always been. I look to my feet. Yes, yes, they are just as yours feet. And yet, from within the heart and the understanding of my Father, they have been my movement home. You see, it's where you hold it in this consciousness that you have as it grows. Feet, which in the time I lived were blessed and surrounded with light and gentleness as we walked closer to God each and every day, my Father. And there are those who think it is I who each step learned the way, which is true. And yet all whom I met learned the way and walked a new way upon truth. I can still smell the fragrance of the smoke of the fire we would make to be warm or to eat. And I knew the comfort from within me that we were blessed. We were blessed for we could continue. We would rest for the journey became tiresome. And yet that place within my heart, that curiosity, that desire, that willingness was my driving forward. You are with me now as they were with me, not knowing where we go tomorrow, but know it will be God's destiny for us. Know that it will be a journey of an awakening within the cellular being of each of the disciples and within you. In the world in which you live in now, yesterday is now. Years ago is now, as the future is now. Allow yourself to expand beyond that which is what you see, and more that which you be. My hands gifted with my Father's light. So is you. Transform distortion, darkness, to realms and realms of various lights that yet you do not know. So, my brothers and my sisters, sweet loving souls, my Father is alive. My mother is alive. I am alive within each of you. Within each of you. Feel the love. Feel the experience. Walk with me. Yes, we will talk. We will create movement, if only but within ourselves. For it is time for an awakening. It is time to remember. It is time now. I say many blessings to each of you, And it is the word blessings that which is alive, never ending. And it is for that whom believes that truth will accept those blessings. As we meet and we sit upon the Mount Olive, we will listen and we will share and we will speak and understand. Let your hearts ignite the truth. The love of my Father lives within your heart. The sweet love of my mother joins it, and I walk with you. Blessings, sweet ones, my brothers and my sisters. And when you're ready, you can come back to the space where you sit. And good morning, Rice Experiment. Glad that you joined us. Does anybody have any questions for today's message? Oh, you're welcome, Rice Experiment. Very powerful. So deep and profound, thank you. So powerful, thank you. And we shall thank Jesus for coming and sharing himself. Meaningful and timely. Yes, as I sit back and think about it, you might be right. It's time to lay down all the anguish. Yeah. As it is now, Jesus will come on Wednesdays and speak. So, that was beautiful. Thank you. The message of love so meaningful for today's world. I believe that's his desire, to let his words touch a world that have forgotten on a very deep level. Such a beautiful message from Jesus. Thank you, Mother TheoSophia. Good to see how he distinguished between his earthly father and his heavenly father. dry, inspirational message. It's amazing that he mentioned focus. Well, remember, they're all still growing as we are. They've all come along to many things, more than what he was a long time ago. And Kathy agrees with Chase. Growing as we still are, yes. Many we all carry this forward and believe that our eyes are the eyes of God. And they all have that capacity. You have to transform who you are to see through his eyes. There is no doubt that availability exists. But it is from within you must transform. Yes, everyone's growing. Mother Mary has grown and changed, I'm sure, many times, always becoming more. All right. Any last message, or I will leave you and I'll be back tomorrow, not on Friday. And this Monday is our actual moving day, so I won't be here on Monday either. So we probably won't have time to set everything back up during the day. So I hope you enjoyed his message. But more than that, that you could allow it to go inside and speak to who you are. Timelessness of the love, message of gentleness and kindness. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good day.